Check out this range expansion hack. I happened to overhear a snippet of Winnie the Pooh the other day, and then I went to YouTube and had to find it again.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you sneezed just as you were going to tell me what the first thing to do was.
I didn't sneeze.
Oh, you did, Owl.
No, I didn't. You can't sneeze without knowing it.
Well, you can't know it without something having been sneezed.
One concept that vocalists don't understand very well and don't implement very often at all, that cartoon characters and voice actors almost always implement and understand a lot better, is vocal weight across registers. While singers focus on a note and then contort their vocal apparatus and their bodies around trying to hit that note in some specific way, cartoon characters and voice actors use expression and then sort of accidentally hit those pitches or those notes.
Just as you were going to tell me what the first thing to do was.
First thing to do was, it's so light that Pooh is in between his head voice and his chest voice and sort of peeking into both. First thing to do was. Right? We're in a particular range, like a singer would be, but we're approaching it very, very gingerly, but not so gingerly that we're just like this, and not too umphy, so that we're just going for it. It's not just about the range, it's about the approach of the range. And then, listen.
I didn't sneeze.
Listen to what he's doing with it. I'm doing it all the time with my voice. His head voice, but it's down to a compressed chest voice.
I didn't sneeze.
And then, Eeyore.
Oh, you did, Owl.
Oh, down here. Oh, you did, Owl. There's like a throat singing thing going on. Very weighty, right? So we take these three postures and we start assigning notes to them. We take all these different vocal weights based on these characters, and as we throw things around, we start to realize that we can use these different weights and the sensations of these weights in different areas than we're actually hearing, because we can feel it out.
Just as you were going to tell me what the first thing to do.
What the first thing to do was. I
didn't sneeze.
I didn't sneeze. The first thing to do was I didn't sneeze. Oh, well, yeah, you did. Okay. I didn't sneeze. I took Eeyore and I put it up here. I didn't sneeze. The first thing to do was I lowered Pooh. The first thing to do was I didn't sneeze. I didn't sneeze. The first thing to do was. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these different postures. I'm holding these cartoon characters in my mind. And I started by just sort of poorly imitating each one of them singing their lines, and then speaking their lines. And then I moved into just putting random notes in. Now, it's very important here. We don't want to get a keyboard or a guitar or whatever and be like, okay, well, now I want to hit that note. We don't want to do that. We want to move from speaking to singing without knowing which notes we're actually hitting, and focus on the weight, posture, and placements rather than what note we're hitting. Then, if you want to record yourself, like I'm doing here, and then go back and listen to yourself, and then grab your keyboard or your keyboard app or your guitar and go, oh, whoa, I just hit a... That's going to be amazing for you. We do way more of this in my free course linked in the video description or pinned comment. And I take another student with me in that journey so you can see him finding all sorts of things with his voice. It's one thing to see me play around with my voice, but it's a whole other thing to see someone else do it and then have you do it as well. Click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. And let's play around with our voice some more and unlock more range and other fun stuff. We'll see you there.